Hello everyone, welcome back. This is a live recording of a 50-minute full body flexibility practice. I just used my bolster today. Find some space to move though, and let's get started. So yes, we are gonna start laying down. So if you want to lay on top of something, feel free to do so. Very much looking forward to this, as always. But find your way onto your back, and I can hear my lovely assistant on his way over. There he is. You might be reaching your arms just above your head for a moment, kind of stretch through the upper body. You might even send your legs out long too. Make this a full body stretch. And then you might leave your arms reaching above your head or bring them back to your sides, depending on what you're laying on. Whatever feels good on the shoulders, on the arms. Feel free to bring the legs maybe into a diamond shape or a reverse diamond shape. Knees together, feet out wide. But let's close our eyes if you haven't done so already. Maybe a little wiggle of the fingers or the toes. Maybe even the hips. And maybe we can lay still. Begin to connect with your breath. Maybe you'll take a slow, deep inhale and let it go. You might do that again. Use the breath to help you let go of your day, your week. Deep breath in and deep breath out. I'm gonna stay here just a little bit longer. And if it does feel good to bring your hands behind your head as a little pillow, you can add that in. And if it feels good to turn your chin towards the left side too, maybe you can rest your ear in your hand or on the ground or on your pillow. You did turn your head to the side. You can slowly switch. Maybe resting your right ear in your hands on the ground, on something for just a gentle stretch through the neck. And then just turning your head so that you're just resting on the back of it again. Your hands might still be behind your head though. And if you wanted to lift your chin towards your collarbone, use your hands, your arms to hold your heavy head up. Little tuck of the chin. Take just one more breath here if you've got your head lifted up. And you can gently place it back down and then take your hands out. Bring your arms to your sides and maybe turn your palms to face down. Just bend your elbows, relax your arms, so maybe the palms can face down. Just scan your body. Notice the next breath that you take. And if you do have your legs in a diamond shape or extended out long, start to move your legs, but you can leave your arms, your upper body where it is. Bring your feet to the ground. Bend the knee. Maybe it will feel good to add a gentle sway of the knees side to side while you're still laying on something. Maybe your palms are still facing down. And then let's just take whatever you might be laying on and let's take it out and move it off to the sides. You can move the least amount that you have to take that thing out from under you and lay flat on your back. You might hug both of your knees to your chest. Maybe add a sway side to side. And then you might keep your right knee, but let your left foot find the ground. Take your right foot, rest it on top of the left quad for our figure 4. You can keep the left foot on the ground or you can lift it up. The legs a hug towards the chest. If the left foot is free and available to move, you might add some ankle circles. Switching direction. If you're making those circles. And just a light press of your low back down. Make your spine as long as it can be. We're just gonna stay for another breath or two. And if you do have your left foot lifted up into the air, you can bring it down, but just keep your legs crossed. Keep your legs crossed. And then maybe we can just reach for our lower leg of the right leg. If your left hand could hold your foot, maybe the right hand can hold your knee so that you could maybe send your left leg out long for a moment. Not here long, just to see if that is available. And if you did send your left leg long, just bend it. Bring it back. Rest your foot on top of the quad again. Maybe send your right knee a little further away. And then you can start to relax and uncross your legs. Bring your right foot to the ground. Maybe take a sway of the knees side to side. And when you are ready to switch and your left foot wants to come on top of the right quad, you can go there. Maybe your right foot stays on the ground the whole time, or maybe it lifts. And feel free to add in some ankle circles with the right foot this time. And switching directions if you're making those circles. Maybe a gentle press of the low back down again. Feel that nice glute stretch. Now, if you do have the right foot lifted up, start to slowly bring it down. Plant the foot on the ground. And then maybe we will be able to hold on to the left leg, the foot and the knee. And perhaps you can extend your right leg long too for just a breath or two. And then bringing that leg back in, resting your foot back on top of the quad, and then maybe sending the knee a little further away from your chest. And then you can release and relax and cross your legs. Give the knees a sway side to side if you'd like. You could hug both of your knees to your chest if you wanted to as well. And then decide if you want to roll over or rock yourself forwards, but we're going to come up all the way to tabletop. So find your way onto your hands and knees. Spread your fingers out a little bit wider. Now you can start to turn your fingers to point out towards the edges of the mat. Feel free to do one hand at a time. Spread the fingers wide, gently press the palms down. We're going to keep our fingers pointing out to the sides. Now you can take the hands wider for a little less. Maybe they're under the shoulder. Maybe you're going to bring them closer together. Still let the fingers point out to the sides. You can go as far as the wrists touching one another, but only go as far as your wrists want you to. This feels good. Connecting the palms, the fingers to the ground. Let your head hang a little bit heavier. And if you happen to be doing one hand at a time, you can switch sides. In for another breath. And then you can start to turn the fingers back forwards. You can even take the weight out of the hands if you want to. Sit back, maybe add some wrist circles, a wrist massage. We're going to be sliding forwards and onto our bellies though. When you are ready for that, so you're laying down, you might stack your palms, rest your forehead on top. Maybe take a gentle sway through the hips, side to side. And then we're going to be bringing our left arm out to the side. Send that arm out long, out straight from the shoulder. Let your palm face down to start. You can stay on your belly. You can roll onto the left side. Any amounts. You can move the legs, turn the hips. You could even take your right hand to your low back or the ground behind you. Now take just another breath here. And if you did roll onto your left side, you can slowly tip back over onto your belly. And the left arm can make its way in just to a comfortable place, just for a moment. So we are going to tip right back over onto our left side, but this time with the left arm, you're going to rest your head either in your hand or just have your arm out in front of you so that you can rest your head on it and reach back for your right foot. Hug your heel towards your glutes, a quad stretch for the right leg. Now, if you want to be on your belly, you could also be on your belly, hugging your heel towards your glutes. If you are on your left side right now in that quad stretch, just let your foot go. Let your leg go long again so that you can tip back over onto your belly. And maybe you'll stack your palms and give your hips a little sway side to side. But we will be switching to the right arm, no rush. But send it out in line with your shoulder as best you can. When you're ready for it, let your palm face down. Maybe spread the fingers wide too. And then you can start to roll onto the right side. Maybe a little more. Maybe the hips are turning, the legs are moving. And same with the left hand. If you want more, you could bring it behind you or just keep it in front of you. If you're on your right side, you can use an inhale to roll slowly back over onto your belly and bring your right arm in just to a comfortable place for a moment. Maybe a little sway through the head. And then coming back over onto the right side. Maybe rest your head on your arm or in your hand, but reach back for the left foot this time. Hug your heel towards your glute. And if you're on your side and you have your foot, you might let it go. And then slowly roll yourself back over and onto your belly. Stack your palms again. Sway the hips side to side if it feels good. And then we'll lift up onto our forearms for our Sphinx. Tuck your elbows under the shoulders, palms facing down. We're only going to do this once today. So a little squeeze of the glutes, a little press of the hips into the ground as you lift your chest. Drop the shoulders from the ears. Pull your belly button in a little bit. Take another inhale. And as you exhale, gently lower back down. Rest your forehead on your hands, maybe. Maybe sway the hips side to side. And then we're going to bring our hands by the shoulders and just push ourselves up onto our knees. Now, if you want to keep the knees close together, the feet together, and sit back on the heels, we are going to be folding forwards. If you want to widen the knees like child's pose, you can do that too. And if you want something to rest your forehead on, you could grab your pillow or something else. But we're just going to start tipping forwards. Tipping forwards and leaving our hips as close to the heels as we can get them. So this might be child's pose for you. Might be a little bit different. Maybe the knees are together. Maybe your forehead's resting on something. And your arms, they might be by your sides as well. The palms could face up. And if you wanted to go a little bit further and you've got your knees together, the ground is a little further away since your legs are kind of stopping your chest from getting closer to the ground. So if you did want to remove any pillow that you have, try to bring the forehead down while the knees are still together. And then you can stay as you are. We can go a little bit further though. We're going to try to tuck our chin towards our collarbone. Now you can come back up if you want to sit tall and tuck your chin towards your collarbone. But if we can come back down and use the ground to keep our chin tucking towards the collarbone for our rabbit pose. Bring your hands by the knees for support. Tuck your chin, rest on the head, the top of the head, maybe the back of the head, and lift your hips off the heels. Tucking the chin towards the collarbone. Kind of rolling towards the back of the head, but use your hands to support you. We are going to take our time coming back out of this. So if you did lift your hips off the heels, start by bringing them back down. And maybe then the arms could go back to the sides, a little less weight in the hands, but maybe your forehead can touch the ground again. And then just to go back a little bit further, if you started with your forehead resting on something, bring that back under the forehead. Trying to find a neutral place for the neck, the spine, your arms. They might be beside you again, in front of you. And then we're going to just find our way up to a seated position. When you're ready for that, maybe you are already there, but lengthening through the spine. You might be gazing forward, so just lifting the chin off the collarbone, but maybe your eyes are closed. You could stay seated on the heels a little longer, but you could also sit down, bring your legs in front of you, just any comfy seat. A nice long spine though. Let your shoulders fall away from your ears. Notice any sensations flowing throughout you. When you're feeling good to move again, you might start to open up your eyes. We're going to send our left leg long and our right foot. That leg will be bent. Your foot can be on the inside of the leg or the outside. Hold your knee though, lengthen your spine. We're going to take a twist towards the right side so you can give your knee a hug, turn the chest, maybe pushing the ground away from you into those right fingertips. We're going to use an inhale to come back to face forwards. Now you can keep the left leg long. We could find half cow face here. We can cross the right leg over top of the left. We could do full if you want to bend your bottom leg in, feet out to the sides, stacking those knees. But sit tall, lengthen your spine, and we might bring the twist back. So if you want to go back into the twist, maybe you've changed your legs, or maybe you're going to bring your legs back to where they were. Maybe you're going to skip the twist. You could also fold forwards or stay seated tall, but I'm going to go for the twist. So lengthen your spine, slowly turning the chest towards the right. Push the ground away and let that left arm maybe hook on the leg a little. Support you a little. But breathe. One more breath here. If you are twisting or if you're folding forward, come back up or come back to facing forwards. And if you've got your legs crossed, you can uncross them. Give the knees a bit of a hug, maybe squeeze. And sending our right leg out long. Left foot could stay on the inside or cross over top, but keep the knee, some space between the knees. Hold your knee even as you sit taller, letting the chest turn off to the left side, maybe a hug of your knee. Press the left fingertips into the ground. If you're lucky, you might feel your glute here too. Now let's use an inhale to come forwards again. And maybe we're going to be adjusting the legs. You can try to lower that top knee. Maybe bend the bottom leg in too. Snug the legs together a little bit more. Lengthen the spine. Feel free to skip the twist. But if you do want to turn your chest to the left side again, maybe the right hand or the forearm can kind of hook on your leg a little bit. Press into the ground. Keep the spine long and strong. And enjoy a few breaths here. We're going to take one more breath wherever you happen to be. And then just turning to face forwards or sit tall again. And you can unwind your legs. Give them a hug or a squeeze. And then we'll send both of our legs out long. You could always slide your pillow under your knees or on top of your legs. If you've got a strap close by, you can hook those on your feet. But lengthen your spine, maybe pressing the ground away, maybe pointing your toes up. You might stay seated tall and just close the eyes. You might start to lean forward, leading with the chest. Feel the length through your legs. Stay for another couple breaths. Maybe lift your chest a little bit. Open up space in the low back. Let your shoulders fall from your ears. Maybe you're folding forward. Now take another breath or two. And you can use an inhale to lift if you are folding forward. And once you're sitting tall again, you can start to bend your knees. Hug your knees back in towards your chest. A rock or sway side to side. And then if you have a pillow of some kind, we're not going to lay on it yet, but if you have something that maybe can go underneath your hips in a few moments, just have it close by. But I want you to lay flat on your back. You could keep the feet on the ground or hug both knees to the chest, but just lengthening through the spine. Maybe a sway side to side, massage the back against the ground. And we do have a couple options for where we go next. We can bring our feet to the ground and keep the hips on the ground. You don't have to slide anything under your hips. We're going to be hugging one knee towards the chest at a time, where the other leg, maybe it will go out long, maybe it will stay bent. So if you do want to slide something under your hips to bring a back bend into this, you could add that in. Now, keeping in mind, you might be hugging a knee towards the chest. So if you do want to not place something underneath you, you don't have to. And then if you wanted to also place something underneath you, you could also skip the hug of the knee to the chest. You could keep your feet on the ground. But decide what you want under you for sure. And then decide if you're going to hug your right knee to your chest. And the left leg could stay bent or it could go long. A little different if you've lifted the hips onto something. Just give your legs a chance to relax a bit, soften a bit. You're hugging your right knee in. A little extra squeeze, maybe. Take a nice inhale. And as you exhale, let go of your knee. You can plant both of your feet on the ground. Let's take a moment to pause. And then your left knee can start to find its way towards the chest. Give it a hug. Maybe the right leg is going out long too. Be a little extra squeeze of the knee. And then stay for a nice inhale. And let it go. Let go of your knee as you exhale. And plant both of your feet on the ground again. Maybe add a gentle sway of the knees side to side. But if you have something underneath your hips, you could take a moment to send both legs out long. You might even reach your arms above your head. Now you can do this if you're flat too. Just a little bit of a stretch maybe throughout the body. You could stay here a little bit longer, or you could start to bend the legs again, plant the feet. You might be bringing your knees, both of them, towards your chest, even if you have your hips resting on top of something. You can keep your knees bent, hugging them in, or you could send the feet up, lengthen through the legs. And if you do have your legs a straighter, higher up, start to bend them again. Bring the knees back to the chest. You have something under your hips. You could either slide it out now or bring your feet to the ground first. But if you do like to have that thing under your knees for Shavasana, you might just send it a little bit more down the mat, maybe even rest your feet on top of it. So you're flat on your back, but maybe your feet are resting on top of your pillow. You can add a gentle sway of your knees side to side. Give your back a gentle massage against the ground. It can be a very small sway or a little bit bigger. And then if you do have something to rest under your legs, maybe it's under your knees, but maybe it's kind of under the calves. So the feet float. Just optional, of course. Whatever is comfortable for you. However you would like to spend your Shavasana. Make your way there. Let your body relax completely. Notice how much your body breathes without any help from you. And slowly, maybe start with your feet, your toes. Your feet are floating a little bit. You might have some room for ankle circle. Maybe a deeper breath in. Feel your belly expand. And a deep breath out. Wiggle your fingers. Maybe reach your arms above your head again. And then eventually bending your knees. Bend your knees so that you can roll over to one side. And find your way up to a comfy seat. When you're ready, bring your hands together if you'd like, and maybe one more. Deep breath in and out. Awesome practice, you guys. Thanks for joining me today. Have a really lovely weekend, and I will see you guys sooner than you think. Namaste.